Good morning, beautiful people. It's Janine here, and I'd like to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to chat with you about what's going on. We've been living a time that this world has never seen. And we all know this. It's not new, it's not wow. But I think what is where do we go from here? Because we all talked about lockdown, and I think there was a huge shock. And I think a lot of us went into survival mode. Many of us lost our jobs, our livelihoods. Things became very uncertain. And it was a matter of, well, here we are. Where do we go from here? And so every day we are given an opportunity as our day wears on and it goes into night and a new day dawns. This is God's promise that this too shall pass. And how it passes and how we come through it is entirely up to us. And that's what I want to chat with you today about is, are we going to survive through this, or are we going to thrive through this? Because again, and I know I've spoken about this, that I think we've been given incredible opportunities, amazing opportunities. There have been days that I've sat and I've gone, oh, why? And then I am gently reminded, it's more like a slap on the head actually, not a gentle reminder, but I asked to be here. I asked to be here through this time as you did. And unfortunately, we have not been offered the opportunity of remembering that we asked. We probably begged, but that we wanted to be here. And through this time, the opportunities of spiritual growth are so huge. So I've bitten the bullet and kind of gone, okay, well, if I have to be here, I might as well make the best of it. And I think for the most of us, we kind of do that. However, I think sometimes we get lost along the way. We get lost in our ego, in our littleness. So, and I think that's something that we need to be reminded of. As spiritualists, we look at life a little differently. We acknowledge things a little differently than perhaps mainstream religion or other thoughts. And because of that, I think we have a step up. We have, I don't say certainly an upper hand, because I don't believe that we have an upper hand. What we do have is we have a knowledge that we now become responsible for. But let's get back on track and on point about how do we go forward. And I think that is quite simple, because we are told lots of many things, but gratitude changes everything. Gratitude changes everything. And we need to show our gratefulness. And you know, sometimes when you're in the thick of things, and you know, we talk about interesting times, and this time is not comfortable. Nobody must tell me this time is comfortable, because I don't know that I go through one day of sheer bliss. I'd love that, but it's not. Life is not comfortable. Life at this moment in time, I find it is uncomfortable, it is scary, because we don't really know the outcome. The changes that are going on around us are so huge that we are changing. I don't think we even realize the amount that we are changing, but we are changing. We are growing. And that's not comfortable. But as I said, we have been given the promise that this too shall pass. And I think that we need to kind of hang on to. Gratitude. Let us allow gratitude to live in our hearts. A couple of days ago, I was given some information, and in my meditation, and it was, okay, if your slate was wiped clean, if this time of the lockdown, all your karma, all your experiences were wiped clean, you have no past, because that's what we're going to give you. How or what are you going to do to create your tomorrow? What do you want when you wake up tomorrow? Because how you want to live tomorrow is what you need to do today. You need to create today so that you can live it tomorrow. And yeah, that was quite an interesting little statement that I was offered, because that puts the power in the now, doesn't it? So let's ask you that question. If everything was wiped clean, there was nothing you had to pay for. No good, no bad, nothing. You have this moment. You have absolutely clean slate. And tomorrow, what you create today, you will live tomorrow. How are you going to do it? And with everything changing and everything coming at us, because that's what's happened, what are we going to do about it? And so I think this is where we need to change our mindset from survive to thrive. We need to change how we have lived to how we would like to live. And the power is in the now. Anything we do to create something better, something worse, something different, the power is right now. Through this lockdown period as well, I have started A Course in Miracles. And I am amazed, because as the course goes on, I am finding that I am more in line with what is being said. And again, I think that is where I have been, the healing that I have had the opportunity to do, the circles that I have sat in, the prayers that I have prayed. And so, yeah, I want to share with you how to perhaps thrive, or to start to thrive through today, that your tomorrow can be a better day. I've heard a lot of people say, well, we're all in this together. No, 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 no. We're all in a boat in a storm. We're not all in the same boat. We all have our own boats. We all are responsible in our own boats. Also, we must understand that even though we are responsible for our own little boat, we're all in this ocean. So we're all connected. All of us are connected. We're all trying to bob the best that we possibly can. So the first thing I would like to offer is, let us acknowledge our connectedness. Let us acknowledge that we are the sons and daughters of God, that we have the God within. So that person in their little boat is also a son or a son or daughter of God, and they're also only trying to do their best. And maybe sometimes we need to just extend our hand and help them along a bit, because we are all connected in this. And it is through this connection that we are all going to help each other get through. And while we're in this situation, let us never, ever forget that God gave us probably the most beautiful tool, the gift of prayer. And let us remember that it is in times that we feel the need, we can ask for help. That we can cry out and ask for help, for forgiveness, for atonement, for a way forward, or for grace. Because it is in those times that we become aware of exactly what is offered to us. And I know that I stand in humility when I say that. In the past 4 months, I've been in lockdown with a 5-month and a 5-year-old. And the 5-month thinks he's a soprano. And that can get quite seriously hair-raising some days. He is very, very loud in what he likes and what he doesn't like. Just as he is very quick to smile and to laugh, he is just as quick to screech. And I have to step back and watch his mother be a mother and someday struggle in not knowing how to pacify her child. And I've asked for grace. I've also become aware of the amount of family that we have in our home, that I am aware of my grandmothers, my father, my late husband. I am aware of my guides. And it is on those days that I find that I need a little helping hand, that they come forward and I am lifted in grace. So please don't forget them. They're seeing what's happening, and they've been part of this creation. So I do believe that they've drawn closer. They're here to support you because they love you. They love you so much. And they want to help. And they are there, and it is just in our asking. So please don't forget. I spoke about gratitude about how we're going to see this through. You know, when you realize what you have, when you see that we're in this storm together, but I'm in my own boat and you're in your own boat, and your own boat has a hole in it. It's amazing how you're quite happy to reach out and put your finger in the hole there for a while to help the other out. And I want to talk about how we can live our days in gratitude. I normally start my day in a time, and I call it a devotional because I think that's exactly what it is. I am devoting time to me, to the God within me, and to my life. And it is a time that I take time to say thank you for all that I have, for all that has been, and that for all that will be. It's in our praise. It's in the blessing of our food, in our shopping. All through this time, we've been able to go to the shops because we have the money. And we've been able to buy what we need. And what we need and what we want is on the shelves. That is amazing. And that we need to give thanks for. At the end of the day, that you've been able to have your day, to do what you have, to create, to be part of something that's so much greater than you. That's an easy one to give thanks for. So I also think that when we live in an attitude of gratitude, we are raised up. We are held in a space that is truly enlightened. I also want to talk about acknowledging our part of where we are. So many of us find ourselves at this time alone or living on our own, and others find themselves in families. And it doesn't matter where you find yourself. This is where you put yourself. You put yourself here because it was going to offer you the greatest opportunity of experience, the greatest opportunity to grow. And so, if we look at where we find ourselves, we can find gratitude. That's another easy one. So, acknowledging where we are is exactly where we need to be. And this is all not for our littleness, our egos. This is for our magnificence. This is for who we truly are. This is for our soul growth. This is for the strengthening of all. So, in the gratitude, in acknowledging, and I think we need to find that with that we can take responsibility for our lives. Take responsibility for where we find ourselves. And when those times get hard, and I was reminded of that, The Soprano, and how, I found myself in exactly the position. And it is where I need to be, and I acknowledge that. And I was told, well, remember, need to give thanks for that. It was hard. But I think that's another thing, is that we need to find the humor. And we need to, somehow we've lost that. We need to find the funny, the light-hearted in every day. and live that truth. Be the child of God. Be the little child. Be the innocent. Be the one that is open to learn, to experience with enthusiasm, because that is part of living our truth. So through all of this, dear ones, we are creating a tomorrow, not only for ourselves, but for everyone. Those that live in lives of darkness and ignorance. So I believe that they are struggling more because they don't have the faith. They don't have the knowing that there is a brighter tomorrow. Those are the ones that are in the boats that are struggling the most. Let us pray for them. Let us give them a helping hand. Let us try to be our best today. And I want to say, I realize that the initiative that Marissa started at the beginning of lockdown of the Krugersdorp Spiritualist Church having a WhatsApp group that somebody would be there as a support, as a go-to person, is an amazing initiative. And I realize that it has helped so many people. Let us continue that. And when times get tough, as you know they do, they get confusing, they get scary, I want you to remember who you are, who you truly are. And that is, you are a divine manifestation of God and all that is. You, who believes that you are so little, you are a divine manifestation of God. And you are here to shine your light and to share the love that you are. You are truly and absolutely magnificent. So in this week ahead, may you remember who you are, and may you offer your best to yourself and to all life. God bless you, and thank you for offering me this time.